Alright, part two of the Bug Out Bag series. Again, this is all going into a Yukon 48 by Kelty. External frame pack, holds 2,900 cubic inches, and it's like 4 pounds, 13 ounces. So, nice pack, a lot of capability. You can string things to the outside of the pack, which I really like, and a lot of good weight distribution. Does a really good job to transfer that weight to your back and your hips and things like that. So we left off with the tools, knives, weapons, etc. One thing I failed to mention that's not in the tools section there is a Glock 17 Gen 4. That's the full size 9mm, holds like 17 plus 1. I like the round capability, the amount of ammo that you can carry on you and the weight and size of it. I find it to just be the most practical in this situation. As well as that, being mainly used for self-defense as far as hunting small game and things like that. Got a Ruger 1022. A few modifications done to that I'll show in a later video, or maybe this one if we have time. Black rubber Hogue overmolded stock gives it some really good weather capabilities. It can withstand cold temperatures, snow, water, whatever, anything like that, more so than the stock wood one can. It's also got an AR-15 style front and rear aperture, and a aftermarket magazine release. It's a little lever that you push down, but you don't have to move your hand from the trigger, so that's a nice added feature. Let's see, like I said, we finished off with the tools in part one, and communications, lighting, things like that. I didn't finish, but we got through most of them anyway. But that's what this is about. We're going to pick up where we left off, and that would be with the spider wire, and that's used for the obvious reasons: snare wire, making repairs, fishing line, anything along that nature. Also a 9mm bore snake. Those things are incredibly handy and a very quick means of cleaning your handgun. I know I use them probably 10 times a day when I'm shooting. You can just run it through your gun. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to take care of your weapon, and that's a pretty good time. So next to that, there is also a larger cleaning kit capable of cleaning multiple calibers and gun sizes, all the way up to rifle calibers. For that long barrel, it's a breakdown system of a cleaning rod with other solvents and things in there. I think that's the MP or the M Pro 7 cleaning kit. Comes in its own black case, so that's nice too. Below that, I think I already mentioned it in the first one, but Gorilla brand duct tape, that's had the best results from my experience. Also super glue. I also have the Gorilla brand for that, but pretty much any super glue is going to do just fine. All that stuff is really good for what it's used for, and that could be anywhere from making repairs to actually small wound closure. So it has a nice crossover into the first aid, and it obviously takes up next to nothing in size and weight. So a lot of capabilities there, though. Getting more into the fire making abilities of this bag. Again, not all this goes into one bag. A lot of this is going to be spread between 2 or even 3 bags. I have someone else that I'd be bugging out with, so I got enough to make 2 packs pretty much. So that's kind of the goal here. But back to the fire making abilities, we got a couple of magnesium fire starters. It burns at really high temperatures, so that's nice in all weather. Waterproof matches in waterproof cases. A couple different lighter systems, the standard and jet lighters. Some more waterproof matches. Sorry about the camera here. I'm actually using a Stony Point shooting and walking stick to steady the iPhone 4 while I try and video this. I just got the Contour GPS mountable camera but I don't really have that running. And honestly, the iPhone quality is a little better, at least when you're inside. The only problem is that I don't have it mounted, so it's a bit shaky, and for that I apologize. But back to the gear. In the fire section, we have a couple things of fire steel. Also burns at a nice temperature in adverse weather conditions. Two kind of tools that I left out actually are the SOL Rescue Flash Signal Mirror. You can just see the glare on that thing, so it's proven itself right there. Next to that's also a notebook and pocket survival guide with appropriate writing tools. It's nice to be able to document what might be happening and help you keep track of time and days and things like that. So I think that's definitely a must for any situation. I see a lot of guys leaving things like that out. But we're trying to cover all the bases. Also, again, if you have any advice or input, I have open ears, so feel free. There's also fire sticks, waterproof fire sticks, and the variety with a match type head, so you can strike it on the box it comes in, and it'll burn itself for quite a while. Moving into first aid, we have different size first aid kits with different capabilities. Got a couple level 1 kits, really lightweight. Carry one in my EDC bag. Again, the Maxpeda Sitka, and the Quick Clot, that usually stays with me. I try and just carry that trauma pack you see in my bag at all times, and that really is enough right there. But there's also some Adventure Medical Kit first aid kits. I really like them. I think they make a good one. And a new one that I've gotten, Carry & Company first aid kit. And there's some smaller varieties. I do have one level 2 kit there, though, as you see. It treats anywhere from 1 to 4 people. So that'll be nice, if I have to take care of more than one person, which I probably will in that situation. You'd think the most reasonable situation would be a natural disaster in the case where a lot of people would need first aid. So that's a really nice system to run in a bug-out bag. Sometimes you do have to think about other people or effect rescue. Back to the first aid slash now getting into hygiene. We got some small toothbrushes there with the toothpaste in them. Those are the Colgene Wisps. You definitely have to keep up with your hygiene. You can't just throw that out the door because fighting off infection and things like that and bacteria, it's definitely important. Some mouthwash in the same regard. A couple different medicines. Benadryl, it's an allergy medicine. Decongestant, Neosporin. I also have a couple other medicines and things like chapsticks and Clear Eyes. That's all in my EDC bag right now, but I'll be getting more of that to throw in the bug-out bag. Some bug spray, absolute must. I got this 98% DEET bug spray, which is the effective chemical in all bug sprays. So it's a really high concentration. I typically see it around 30 and 40%. Next to that is a mosquito bug net for your face. You can throw it on your hat. It definitely depends on the climate and the region that you're in, but if there are heavy insects in your area, then that's an absolute requirement. There's some fresh wipes there. Like I said, you got to stay clean. You need to keep up with your hygiene the best you can whenever you can. Nail clippers, a couple waterproof bags up there. You could throw your iPhone, in my case, in there. Some waterproof map cases. You need to be able to, acquire intelligence on where you are and where you can go. If you have maps with you, you don't want them to rip because of the water or have problems with the ink running. Compression sack, and that's, got a couple different uses for it. I got that particular one to try and stuff my Marmot -20 bag in. That's only for cold weather camping. I use a different sleep system for warm weather. I just looked at the time on the video though, and it's time to shut this one down and start up part 3, so stay tuned.